Okay, so today we are holding a CSO capacity building in North Ebrim District for the Mining for Peace project. The Mining for Peace project is a project that is being implemented by FOSDA, that is the Foundation for Security and Development in Accra, in Africa, based in Accra, and then in collaboration with WASI, West African Center for Countering Violent Extremism, with support from the Australian High Commission. We are doing this project, Mining for Peace, in about 5 regions in Ghana, including the Eastern region, the Ashanti region, Upper Savannah region, Western region, and then Central region. And the main aim for Mining for Peace is to make sure that mining communities are peaceful. And we have seen how mining is being used to finance violent extremism, and mining is being used to finance terrorism, and mining is being used to finance conflict, especially illegal mining. That is what is being used to finance all these devastating things. And so we are working with communities to make sure that we are making sure that mining in these communities are not financing extremism, terrorism, conflict in all these places. And for anything like that, it will take community members, it will take community leaders to stand up and make sure that the mining that is done in their communities are legal and safe.
Thank you very much. So who are involved in this workshop?
So as I said, it's being implemented by FOSDA in collaboration with WAXI. We are collaborating also with the National Youth Authority, the Eastern Region Directorate, also the Ashanti Region Directorate, and then the NCCE, and then the Assembly, of course. And we are working with young people. So we are working with youth groups in the districts and beyond. That is North Birim, South Birim, and then Afosu. We are working with youth groups, we are working with trade groups, we are working with CSOs, that is civil society organizations.
Thank you very much. Before we let you go, the program began this morning. Are the other sectors collaborating? Are we getting closer to the aim that we plan to achieve?
The aim we plan to achieve is to make sure that civil society, made up of youth groups, women's groups, whatever groups, civil society groupings, have the knowledge and capacity and understand what violent extremism is. They understand how to manage conflict. They understand where to go with what information. They understand that we have a national architecture or a national framework countering violent extremism, and they understand what to see and who to say what to. So that's the aim of this workshop today. And so we are very, very sure that with a crop of people.
Esan say we hwe ewiase the way enema si iko no ye hia somdwe esan say kuro betumpon a na ya somdwe do NCC ye afamudie enso ye hia say eku na akaka no so no eye omo so afamudie nti eku ye de ba hanom na omo bedi dwumadi e omo say omo amfre ne padodo de enso kakra na e ba ya na omo betie no omo betimi akoye ambassadors no omo so de nsempa no akotre esan say midika kan no ayi for atuate for no sa asomdwe ama wo betima be wurawura emabu nim na omama wo maye niema ehia na akofa ohaw abreye man Ghana esan sa wo hwe nkura etwa yen wahia na ni nyina ntokwa wo enso niema sei na beboa ama ntokwa intibi ma Ghana na yanya asomdwe dia ama ye kuro no ana o man na tumpom
enti adesuade ahodo a ekoso no so wugidi se na ho hia pa se ehwe ni nyina mu ana
e wo se ehwe ni nyina mu esan se bibi ti se oman a ye mu sei no democracy aya de hia se bibie koso tote a ebeboa esan se mabu no ho o masede no mo hu de wo se oman no so ye ma wo mo a wo se tambia no asomdwe e wo ho no mo wo mutimi hu wo mo chefa a wo se mo ye ma oman na ye se bibia be ko ye ama ye manya ye timu.
I'll be mixing the local and the foreign for a better understanding. When we talk about civic education, I'm from the NCC. That's why I'm saying something like civic education. When we say civic education, it simply means making a citizen to become functional, making a citizen to become a functional citizen. When we say a citizen is functional, that means, let me say, he becomes a good citizen. He becomes a good citizen. Light ewa hay, ebi edum, ebi aso. The aso no function. The edum no function. Sana akoye. Who a good citizen a. Bibi ebe bia wo man mu no. You take part. Inti ansana you become a good citizen so no. Na uni.
It has been rare to me. Na eba kokobo ene adesuan sem efa perepere yo ho a edmisem na mode hu dwuma enti etwato no afuto semben na wo kan de kire omanga na nyina ne titiri Brim North district
the mestre ne say mansi mu no say yeye bibia omfom hunwram asem pempin ya na omotem ho omo enti ye de hunwram anu behu de ekoso ewo mansi nim na omo wadwen bi a omachimi akire omo adwen pempin ya na omo se mpanyimfo ya de omo ntun sanfre omo enso ade ye bia etu nsafra wa mfa hu mehyem nti e wo se ye de hu hyem na adwen bia omotimi kire omadwen na se ba omotimi akasa ampa ade e ba yi yetumi kire ya adwen na hu mfa so de abra ama ye nyina
mo activity workshop and a program mining for peace and untina misoma be abetai mochi atienia ekoso. To be frank, timu no adia ekama kuma pa. If say mining about gold wo ya pontemu hano resources enyende ya one day be dey ebesa na obia so eni wo so say obenya kwanya akoye adwuma no bi wo Newmont honomu but and kwa ba kusuni say ya wo krodu mu nyina betimi anya kwanya akoye adwuma no challenge by wasa sumdwe be wo ho na wo betimi anya kwanya no aye adwuma no edisa adwumdwe na aye aye sa adwuma no na ne ombenya sikasem no na omatimi aba invest in the local economy say ye dansie say ye adwuma na nipa ni betimi abie sa adwuma ni nyina no ehia asumdwe ansa na obetimi aye obisamia eno ntina miso mabaha na manya kwanya we no na distrade ene betu companies aye wa ha ene Newmont ankasa enimu say enim so maye bebre but enipa no so bebre eda so go outside on some biomataban mo na yenuanom youth titro local people wa hano entime enya opportunities ewo ehonum na enye omunye adwuma no na sika embra dodo na ebotum
ayade a temamofo efura chichi ne bente aba ye nyina ye bede ntete ya hwe sene be ya adwuma de ekoso no beboa ama mpuntuo aba ekuro ni mu na manya menua ba kwa amne no ebetwetwe nkomo ono so efura fo so menua efra sen
efra me Ruben ba dodo na afusu de dodo na nim say efra me nipa be ye
nipa be ye adwuma de ya wo ba no na wadwe mpo tesen
me ba na madwe mpo ene se etise unse isi no sane ye hala koye no nti akoye tise ye chew tena ba bia na se ya dede kakra na wo trimu po apese oyipie no na wakata so tina me banya na madwe mpo no but bedu ye no ankoye sa aye different kra aye different in a way say esakra ba omashia men kan say community youth ni nyina ama omo ne adi nkomo yetimi akan hawo ama omo so ma me ate ase the important and then the meaning of violence iti ene mate ase say as oman papa no me twese kan e de ko baabi say mi padwuma meti amra sanity
enti yebetumi akase dwumadi a na dwumaku aka bomu say wodi dwuma yi won trimpon abamu sene wo hwe nana
enne ya omo ne yakasa de metima kasa abam because yen an baaye no etimi nya akonya baa ne de ya bomodin agya to say sene omo ka no ye be ne sa pepepe
enti susu say dwumadi bi sa na ntai enkoso ana akoso ba ko yi de asomdua ba no
nana wadama sanka be koso next week ni week anka ye etre say ye mamu wa ne marwa ye padwuma ye enti abaye say ye no ma be kan ya kan ye haw ya kan ya adwen omo so maka omo de a kire na se eye adwuma a na be hu se omo timu po ene enso timu po na abam but sa anya adwuma de a na te se ye be kan no ma amfa na te se dada na na be sa akom but yen empire ne se omo hia yen enya ba ko enya mienu nya miensa enkoso to aso se ne be ya oman ne community no enso ye be nya ante ase esan se oman didi a me ye sure se obia anyhow se me wadwuma ye na nso wadwuma ya me ni how sa na nso ni how
Efiri sɛ yɛ share tete na sɛ na sɛ de na sɛ no den na bitimi akyerɛ sɛ wasua de afiri mu.
Oh, yɛdi kan no meda mase na machia motifo nyina sɛnea ɔka no. Yɛ start sɛ yɛ program no. Na madwin nyina ne sɛ ɛyɛ new month adwumakuo no ana abopa sɛ ɔmagyeji mabu no yadwin kyerɛ na ɔmfa mmerɛ ɔmfa ndi wɔn dwuma but kuta ho nugus ɛkɔ no mahunu sɛ ɛnhyɛda anyɛ company no yɛmɔ yɛ NGO no ɛne so hu di ɔpɛ so yɛ dɛ wɔde ɛbɛboa mabu no ɛne it me resolve some of the issues any misunderstandings are ɛwɔ yɛ ne yɛ mining communities ne other stakeholders no ɛntɛm.
Enti wogye sɛ dwumadie ɛkyire no ebenya nsanso bi ɛwɔ kuro no so ana.
Yeah, ebenya nsanso papa ɛne bɔne ɛwɔ bra yɛbɛgye entertainer yɛ atum na yɛdi anamo na yɛsɛ de yɛtu ni so na mu si yɛ ni so dia yɛdi nsanso bɔne bɛyɛ de ɛbɛba.
Megye sɛ ufiri ha kɔ yi de ɛyade antete a wonya ne ha no wo de kɔ ama okromfo nyina etumi asua ade wom sɛ na ɛbɛyɛ asomdwie ɛbɛba sɛ na wɔba abesua wɔ ha yi. Please, who are you and why are you here?
I work. My name is Mutaru Mumuni. I work with the West Africa Center for Counter-Extremism. We work in research, training, capacity building around conflicts, peace and security, and more specifically on terrorism, counter-terrorism in West Africa.
So with this workshop that you are part of, what are we planning to aim at the end?
Well, this project is aimed at building what we call resilience in mining communities against violence, against insecurity. We're looking at building communities that are resilient, that are strong against violence in those communities. We know that in the last few years, we've seen serious problems of galamsey and its negative impact on our water bodies and our livelihoods. Farming lands and other, lands and plantations have been destroyed and continue to be destroyed. Our water bodies are polluted. There are babies born with deformities. We're losing a lot. And it would have several generations of impact on all of us. And so it's important that we build education in these communities and help young people to help prevent it or stop it from going further.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ontari. So, as a community folk, as myself, what changes should I expect after this workshop?
We expect that the participants in this workshop will end up being more educated and being aware of the risk involved in engaging in illegal mining activities, the risk involved in engaging in violence and conflicts that can undermine their own livelihood and the local community. We expect people as participants to serve as actors and agents against violence in their communities and ensure that they participate positively in building these communities. Today, young people are very vulnerable. They are more vulnerable than they have ever been. And that's why you see a lot of young people seeking to live wherever they are, going to the urban centers in the cities and traveling abroad because they've lost hope in the communities where they come from. But we want to be able to ensure that we build that sense of hope and confidence in their communities and show them where opportunities exist and how they can participate in building these communities. And through this workshop, we hope to achieve that.
Mrs. Marian Mansamina, Meda National Youth Authority Kono Ano, Ewa Eastern Region.
Enti dwumedi ye koso yi twanefoni kakra kyerɛ den na esi wɔ ha yi.
Okay, dwumedi ne about young people and mebu na ye pese ye mo omo ntete na omunya adwunumu fan edetena eman a omo tim no omo bedo omo man na omo atenem na omo aye ndepa ama omo ho na ama oman no so.
Enti yebetumi akase eye bibi na epia amasa dwumedi ekoso wana.
No ana waka no mpanimfo de nneoma hwehwe akon wo say wontumi ansɔre a na wo ka say wo ba new ebrim ebedi sa adwuma no but ansa na dwumedi etesa beba no na yaye nhwehwem nti mpanimfo ye nhwehwem na ɔmo hu say sa dwumedi etese ye de ba new ebrim nti na ye ba
enti ye ko anim den ye nhwɛ mfiri temamfo hɔ den na ebesesa ɛwɔ yabrabom ne asetene mu.
Ejumedi ni ye about young people efe mebu no ho na wonim say kuro bia say chichire a mebu na ye de omo chichire ene mebu nso na omo wo ahoden a omo betumi de aye ejumaden enti sa dwumedi we ebebo mebu no wo endi ye nkiti bia omo ye no ho ye betenti no ho is about education aha na ye be church omo nneema bi a omo be ya omo be free nneema bi a emboa ema mpotem entumpon sa dwumedi nti at the end of it all no be hu say ye be empower omo be de omo ho omo so betumi di akọ outside akọ church nneema bi a mo ya emboa man mpuntu.
Say you take part. Say them they can to be a functional citizen. You take part in their democratic governance. Peace will reign high. But in Pimpi, no better no, na I say when you be.
My village where I live, I can categorically say there's peace because I don't have any worry in that area that maybe today when I wake up something will be happening. Oh, sir. So will you say Abrim is peaceful? Peace in Abirim, sir. Abrim. Is it Abrim or Abrim? However you want to define it. However you want to define it. What is peace? And we will do this for 1 minute. How about freedom? Freedom. Justice. That one is utility. It's not peace matter. Okay, let's go on. Maybe as we go on, we can define our own peace as we go on. Maybe we'll even see what type of peace do we have there are different types of peace. Okay. Sometimes we have latent peace. There are different types of peace. So maybe as we go on, we'll see what types of peace we have and what we can do to improve it. I think that's what we are here for. So we've seen peace. We are now seeing conflict, the opposite direction, right? And normally we say conflict. When we think conflict, we think violence. But conflict is not always violence. Do we agree? Conflict is not always violence. Conflict is a disagreement between two people, two groups, two communities, two nations like Russia and Ukraine. It's just, thank you. So those are conflicts that have gone into violence, but helping them to do the work. And that will bring us, that is only if you are able to do. I know sometimes we talk plenty, but we don't do. If we are able to do it, then we will come closer to the people that we are pointing fingers at. Once we are able to express it, then we are becoming closer. So that's the nature of conflict. It either destroys or builds. Which one do you choose? Which one will you choose? Will you choose to build or you choose to destroy? When we finish, I'll share a video with you. Okay, it's a very simple video, but it says a lot. Would you choose to build or choose to destroy? Will you choose to take a cutlass or choose this cutlass and yankoyo? Or you choose to build? And I think for us, as young people who have a long future ahead of us, I'm not one, no. But as young people who have a long future ahead of you, you should choose to build. Because when you destroy, it's like cutting the tree. Then where is the future? It will sprout again. It will take another years to sprout. Then every day, my mother will say, we are starting at class 1. So I think we should always choose to build. Okay? I want you to understand a lot of things about conflict as possible. These are things that normally we will do in like a week or 3 days. So we'll take everything one by one and go through, have examples and all that. But I just want you to understand as much as possible. At least basically. That's why I wanted to know how many of you have gone through this before. So that I know that we are on a soft ground. Okay? So we were talking about the nature of conflict. And this is what we also, another concept about conflict. It's another concept. It's called the ABC of conflict. How many of you have heard it before? The ABC is another concept. So there are a lot of concepts about conflict. And when you look at these concepts, it helps you understand things better, understand people better. So this one says conflicts about A, attitudes, B, behaviors, and C, the context. Okay? A, attitudes, B, behaviors, C, the context. And when you look at this, you will see that same thing we saw earlier. The 9, perceptions. And what perceptions is one of the, it's one of the basic things of conflict. Wherever you go, you see that people don't see eye to eye because they don't understand each other. I don't understand you, you don't understand me. And I'm not willing to understand you, you are not willing to understand me. Then we have conflict. So attitudes include the parties' perceptions and misperceptions of each other. Okay? I hope it's okay to be using Newmont. I'm not stepping on any rawness, right? That's the one I understand. Okay? So yesterday again, someone said, and they have the same qualifications, and yet they will choose somebody else, and they will not choose somebody else. That is your perception. You know that? You will not agree, but that is your perception. From where you sit, you've seen 2 CVs, and you think that they have the same qualification. You have not met the people. You've never spoken to them. You haven't interviewed them. You've never seen their qualities. But from where you sit, that's your perception. From where they also sit, they may have another perception altogether from where they sit. Okay? And our perceptions feeds into our attitudes. So from where you sit, this is your understanding, so this is what you will do. From where they sit, that's their understanding, so that's what they will do. Okay? Sometimes we have stereotypes driving these things. Hey, and that's what they say. Okay, so you don't even know that this beautiful girl, she's strong. But just that she's a girl, or see oh, if we are lazy. Aha, girls from this place, they are so lazy. That is a stereotype. And we see.
We spoke to you yesterday about your expectations, and has it been met so far?
Yes, to a very, very large extent, it has been met. We have met with youth leaders from Abirim, New Abirim, and the surroundings, and young people representing the 10 communities in here. And they have been very, 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 very vibrant. They have been very active. They have voiced out their frustrations unequivocally, and they have shared their thoughts. And we have also shared what we have in terms of conflict resolution, in terms of violent extremism, and we've taught them or engaged them to be alert, to report any unusual happenings in the community to the leaders, and we've engaged them to make sure that there is always peace. They should share the information with their fellow young people across. And they have also told us that they need the leaders of this community, of this district, to listen to them. Okay. They need the leaders to listen. And that's the message we are carrying across, to tell the leaders, be it of the assembly, be it Nananum, be it of industry in this community, to listen to the young people. They have a lot to say. They have a lot of issues, and if we don't handle it well, if we don't listen to them, we may not have the kind of peace we are looking out for in this place.
Okay. Thank you very much. As much as this training has undergone, we'll be expecting some changes in the communities. How do we intend measuring these changes?
So the changes, we are looking for skills training for young people. Okay. One of the biggest problems we see and the young people talk about is unemployment. Okay. And so we'll call everybody to support us. They have a project to do skills training for young people. And so we want to call on all and sundry to help with skills training, proper skills training for young people. So young people can be able to employ themselves, and they can have the peace of mind, and everybody will have the peace of mind. So we'll see more. We should see more of that as some of the results. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, meet you. And you know, no. And now, you made it. You know what the baby. So you try no. And yeah, what this here. Idea. I would be best sign at work. So send a bear. Or money so I didn't know. No, ever to me a bemum. And see, it has a baby. Say on a Mirabek Media Network. I didn't come on. I was young for you're mining for peace. You made you know. And you're doing pompon. So I make I say Charlie Mirabek TV on YouTube. Subscribe. Na dwumadi ahodo aka esene beboa ama yekuro no etumi agina brane no ebetumi ede abesom anunti ayadin se dwumadi a ekoso ewo Brimnof district na eguso a yede ho senkaye ebrew Mirabek Media Network na amamu a ebeje ntitiye no mensa aka mienu ya mene omo ebedi nkomo nti edi kan yebebo odin a kire me na wache me bia ofri a obeje ntitiye
bacha me free mama so eye Brimnof bacha fe ma Abigail apia
okay Bacho, me remember. On say first thing, now free na identity.
Okay, for me, Akoto Daniel, if we Nkoko Kwewu West Municipal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Entity a mama G, mujidi say e de be kokwan tenten so abeboa o man ni nyina na.
Oh, ane because my na me youth director ewo Nkoko. Na me won say youth no, ye hia na ma bi say because every time you won say dey na that do o man ni. E be na so enim say hu bibia say o koka onim the channel na we be fa so since 20 we na ma ye hu say hu bibia e we say onya channel bi a de be fa so be ma ye na ho etima den abo ho ban a gidi enti mean say o ye man mu na won say time de ban so because next year ye election year ti ade we hu hia ye papa wetimi dey anya peaceful election enti no abebo an
Me da se bebre me nuaba wonso wo ba no na wonsusu ye tesen efa dwumede ye bedi wa ha no na wo ba yen so wo hu ne sen.
well maybe no na opposite side but now no minya train na say minya education no ama enyoma sesa ema ene mesume kwa akokyerekere ne a mesua ye no I also like politics medo politics so I will apply into that side too and even I meet a lot of people daily. I meet a lot of people. I also educate them. So we thank them so much for what they have done for us, Brimnof. Say God bless them.
Okay. And changes many in going forward.
Changes in there a door so pan because I love my I say my town.
Okay.
Mama so me domo pan. Ache mama so I bring afosu all the affected 10 communities. And now may you ready to support them even though if they are going to demonstrations. Could be pain. But now no, I will know the rate. Where to go instead of going to demonstration, I will know where to go and I mean who to talk to before if anything else. Yeah.
Yo, eda mase bebre enya enuanom bi omoso abagentete ya omne edin kom be ka wo say Mirabek Media Network o Facebook sanso na YouTube subscribe na dwumedi ahodo wa aka esene beboa ama yekuro no atumi agina brane no ebetumi ede abaso midin bio triple D